said Go again.
Wow. This
You're
movie's
just saying
really
your
good.
favorite Chinese board game from classic antiquity. Well, actually, it's way
Never
older
played
than
Go. I played
you
chess
played
a couple
Othello.
times.
Is it the one thing missing from your list of board game completions, which is really high? You have Mancala on there and Chinese checkers.
Wait, what?
I haven't even
Is this a
played fucking
list?
Settlers of Catan, dude. Like,
I
played barely
I'm doing a
anything.
bit. Well, because
Oh,
he
okay.
made it sound
I
like,
was-
oh, believe it or not, I've never played Go, and it's like, why would I be surprised by the fact that you've never played?
I was
Why?
really hoping there was a
'Cause
list
I
of
figured it
board
was, like, a
games that
popular
Ryan's
game.
played out there.
I mean, not popular like Monopoly. It's not something that I would expect you to have played.
Well, I thought it was popular like checkers, like that level of popularity.
Well, even checkers is
I mean-
like, no one actually plays checkers anymore.
Or like chess.
I mean, Go. I mean, it has elements of strategy to it, but I mean, people either play Othello, or they're interested in like AlphaGo, which is an AI that was made to play Go, using I think it was
AlphaGo Plus.
They made a new technique for decision making in AI. It was called alpha beta pruning, where you just have a decision tree of possible actions, and it simulates a game based on one of those possible actions, and then whichever one has the most favorable outcome, it just cuts off the rest and chooses the most likely option.
Isn't chess such a complicated game that, like...
There are more possible chess games than there are atoms in the universe.
So, there will never be a perfect chess AI. It will be perpetually improving.
I don't know if that's true. I know there are more combinations of a deck of cards than there are atoms in the universe, because it's 52 factorial, which is
Yeah.
like 2 to the power of 10 to 100 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think the amount of observable matter is like 2 to the power of 10 times 50. That's what we think.
Welcome back to the Math Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Rogan. So I just watched a really good movie. Unrelated.
pull that shit up.
Unrelated to the podcast, because this is a math podcast and not a movie podcast. And it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with autobiographical
Shia
films
LaBeouf.
about Shia LaBeouf that are like probably masterpieces, actually.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't use that segue, then you can't use any. Come on. Do something with that. I paved the road
I was gonna
for
be
you.
okay with it, but I wanted to.
Well, were you
say
watching A
one
History
thing
of
about
Time,
chess.
I'm guessing? That has to do with math.
Yeah, mathly. No, the
Yeah.
only thing I wanted to mention about chess was I know that it's impossible for there to be like more than 2 stalemates or some shit in a chess game, or something like
Well,
the
what-
likelihood
what?
of a stalemate the likelihood of like more than 2 stalemates is like.
You mean in
near
consecutive
impossible.
games between the same parties, or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something
Fun.
like that. I don't know. Learned it from Mr. Rowe.
Great fact, dude. That's a great fact. Now can we talk
Good
about
facts.
the great movie now, or were we just gonna dick around already?
Yes, let's talk about it. This is a good movie. I like this movie a lot. This is great.
That's it. Thanks everybody for listening to the podcast. No, this is Jesus.
I chose
Christ.
a good one this time, guys.
This is one
Is
of the
that
best
what you
movies
wanted?
we've
You wanted
ever
to
done.
seek validation through choosing a good movie?
It's clearly what
That's
he's
all I
always
want
wanted.
every time I choose a movie. That's like the main quest, and then everything else is the side.
What a hollow and depressing quest.
Yeah, it's like a Bethesda
To
game.
seek the value and
That's-
admiration of your peers through liking the same things?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's how all of life.
You're
is,
right,
really.
man. Next week I should pick a movie that you guys would really just fucking despise. That would
Because
be
then
a-
that would provoke like a
Yeah.
discussion.
right.
I mean, we're all acting all the time.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
My name is
integration.
Shia LaBeouf, or no, what was his name? Otis something in the movie.
Yeah,
There's
Otis.
Shia LaBeouf is not in this movie. He has realized his character to such a fucking like ludicrous degree. There is no point
His
where I'm like,
character,
oh,
by the
there he
way-
is, and I recognize, but he's fully immersed in being that character. It's really fucking incredible.
The character being his dad, by the way.
Well, yeah, which I guess is why he's so good at it.
Or-
But, I mean, Jesus.
Well, he
Technically,
wasn't gonna
a
play-
very accurate representation of his dad.
I think it would be a little on the nose if he
character.
played himself.
It might be a little.
Well, yeah, of course. It's better. It's
Let's
the best
get
if he
Elton
plays his
John
dad.
for Rocket Man.
Yeah. He'll play
When he's,
young
like,
Elton
supposed
John.
to be like young and spry. He's just some 70-year-old fucking.
Well, that would be
gay
funny
dude,
if they just
like,
got him to
"I'm
play
dying."
himself through all ages of his life. Like, even when he's a 5-year-old kid learning how to play piano, he's still himself at like 70. He's just
Yeah, they
acting
do,
like
like,
a kid.
de-aging.
I have a theory
Well,
that
no,
Elton
don't
John...
de-age at all. Like, just keep him the same.
Just, he has a pinwheel hat and a striped shirt.
That's what they wore in England, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have a theory that Elton John rolled a perfect 10 on luck in his stat rolls because he was a gay guy rock star in the 80s and he somehow didn't end up with AIDS, which is like, how the
Yeah,
fuck
that's
do you
pretty
dodge
fucking
that?
insane.
That's a lucky roll. Or rather, several consecutive lucky rolls.
Or choose the right butthole.
I mean, yeah, if you're confident in your abilities, I guess I would just say that I don't know if you can ever level that skill enough to avoid the potential
Well, if
risk.
you
I don't know
have a
much
high
about
enough
Elton
medicine,
John.
if you have a high enough medicine, you can manufacture an AIDS test kit. I think you do need a doctor's bag to be fair.
Right.
But you need to add, you need more medical tubing, and then you need, I think it's Med-X and a few other chemicals. I forget exactly.
Right.
For some reason, you need a tube set. I guess that's to store the samples. I don't know.
It's a little weird to have Fallout have so much before the apocalypse because it's like a lot of these mechanics were designed for post-apocalyptic gameplay, but for some reason you can just do them in the 80s. It's kind of bizarre, but I'm okay with the game's fun. I'm enjoying it, so
Yeah.
some good movies in it.
Some good movies. Like this one, Honey Boy. Fucking.
Apparently, that was Shia LaBeouf's childhood nickname.
Yeah, no, like, pretty much, I would say mostly everything about this movie except for the characters' names are pretty much exactly like Shia LaBeouf's, like, childhood, as far as I know.
Have you
And
done
you
the
know a
research?
lot about it.
Have you?
I mean, to be
I
fair-
read a couple
Annals of
interviews,
history.
and Shia LaBeouf was like, yeah, that's why I wrote the movie.
I mean, to be fair, I can kind
Well,
of see where it's coming from because there's like this has to have been a real story, just like the way it's told.
This
with
feels
so
so
much-
real in, like, every aspect. Like, the writing and the way that the characters, the fucking dialogue in this movie is so, like, realistic and accurate. Because I've been around people like Shia LaBeouf's dad, or whose name is James. in
People
this
like
movie.
him. You're around them a lot. That
Well, people
that
that
sort
talk
of-
like him, you
that
know,
sort
like,
of
that have that kind of
class
personality.
of people. You're often around
Yeah.
them. I don't know where I'm
Often.
going with
Well, yeah,
that.
this is
He's saying
Alaska.
that,
There's a
you
lot of,
know,
like...
He's saying that black people are not realistic. I think is what the point.
I guess that bugs me
Ooh,
in
that's a
in
hot topic today.
well, we're not going to not make racist jokes just
What?
because
Black
racism
people,
is happening.
Black
people have been around for like.
I'm not
ever.
gonna make racist jokes. You guys can do whatever you want.
Okay.
What stance
That's a
are you
really
taking
weird.
here?
Do you think that's going to solve? It's not like you're not out there gunning down the cops, which is what you should be doing. So don't pretend.
I
that you're
wish
like,
I was.
Well, yeah, but you're not. So don't act like that. Not doing the fucking N-word bits this one episode is
I
going to
hope I get.
somehow.
Can't wait to
save
get arrested
the-
for that one.
Can't wait to
Okay.
get arrested and go to rehab.
Yeah,
and
people
scream
have
in
gotten
the
arrested
woods.
for saying like "fuck the cops" and like shit on Twitter.
Well,
What?
if
Yeah.
it can be perceived as a threat, yeah, and yes, it's bullshit. But like, I don't know what you're trying to. I mean, we've never had rights. We've literally like this is not news. The Constitution is just like it's only for convenience of the people who run things. It's not like anyone actually bothers to enforce it or anything. It's not. Come on.
Well, they choose to enforce the power that gives that. They choose to enforce the rights that give them power. They don't
Yeah.
want to exercise the rights that give the people the power.
And when there's a conflict, they'll
Of
just
course.
sort of show intimidation and hope that people will back down and then forget about it. But I mean, that's how it goes. This isn't like we're not exactly breaking new ground here. Part of the fucking reason it's so annoying is that like we've been doing the exact same thing since Rodney King, like every few months, just on loop, essentially. Except the fun part with the riots doesn't usually happen after. So I'm glad that we at least got the riots for this one, because
Yeah, we got
that's
a
the
lot of
best
riots
part
going.
of the whole fucking shebang.
Shebang.
And this episode's gonna come out
Hey.
like 2 weeks afterwards and won't even probably be relevant anymore. But that's what happens when you fucking don't put episodes out, you piece of shit. Anyway,
Hey.
this movie's really good. I don't even know if I'm gonna have a lot to say about it, to be honest, because it really speaks for itself, and it like I don't know how often movies make me tear up, but it's not very often.
I
It's
didn't
every
make
few
months.
I didn't make a David Cage-esque childhood scrapbook of Shia LaBeouf like Ryan did before
Yeah.
watching this movie.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know that much about Shia LaBeouf. Like, the only reason I knew about this movie was because Brockhampton. I was super into Brockhampton, and they were talking about.
Was?
They were like advertising Shia LaBeouf's new movie
Don't-
because apparently they're like best friends with him.
Don't try and fucking distance yourself from Brockhampton now. Like you're not still a huge Brockhampton.
I still like Brockhampton. I just didn't like Ginger.
Oh yeah.
But that's
You don't like
that's what's up.
gingers, dude? What the fuck?
Yeah. It's fucked up, dude.
Hey,
I
Uh,
thought you weren't
I
gonna
don't
get
like-
into race. Like, now
Yeah.
you're saying that? That's fucked, dude.
during the riots and everything.
know,
Yeah.
you know, you
You know,
can
all the
rearrange the
Ginger
letters in
riots.
Ginger to make
That's a hilarious bit that I've never heard anyone on 4chan do before.
Wait,
In
what
the
do you
past
say?
decade. That ginger is an anagram for other words in the English language.
Oh, nice.
Some with colorful applications and definitions and connotations.
Well, yeah, because there's white and then there's color, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I will say
I love
that
color theory. It's funny.
it takes a very skilled director to have the kind of montages that are in this film and have them work appropriately. Because like the opening of this film is a bunch of different things happening, and the genius of it is that the things are so different that you get the sense that these aren't in an isolated time frame. Like it's just trying to show you the guy's life in general, but then by the end
Because
of
he's
it you
going
realize
through a haze of
Right.
a period in his life. It's meant to be kind of just ambiguous, and it's
Right.
like these. We're seeing the brief moments of clarity in an
Mm-hmm.
otherwise tumultuous
Yeah.
life of vice and decadence and sin.
But then, like, towards the end of it, it sort of comes together and you realize, oh, this has all been in, like, the last 6 hours. And that, like,
Oh yeah.
that's kind of a really smart tether, because I was thinking, oh, this is just, like, generalized character build and isn't really, like, describing the inciting events of the film, but it's doing both at once
Yeah, I will say,
by sort of
even
diluting
though,
the time.
even though this is a great film, I have to say it's bad because there's no holes in it.
Rip.
What,
I actually did watch Holes. That is a Shia LaBeouf property.
Yeah,
that's okay.
You remember
It took me
There's
a while.
no plot holes.
I remember the
Hey.
I remember the book more so than the movie.
I mean, the only
Stanley
major
Elistan.
yeah, that's his name.
Elanast.
I mean, the only
Nast.
major difference between the book and the film is that Stanley was fat before he went to the Camp Green Lake, and then he was skinny at the end, and they just didn't do that for the movie.
Yeah.
They didn't want to make the
it's-
kid
other
method
than
act.
that, it's very similar.
Method
they're
act and just force feed him fucking cakes.
They didn't want to just shove chocolate down Shia LaBeouf's throat. That might have made it into this movie if that was the case.
Yeah, it probably would have.
Yep.
Dude, it's fucking crazy that child actors are a thing, because like, we,
Trust me, it was way worse.
no, I know, but like the fucking, we're like, what are you talking about? A kid can't work as a cashier at Target, and like, yeah, you're right, they should, but like, they're allowed to work as
But how
actors
about
and deal with being a celebrity because it's cute when they do it, I guess. So we're just going to
yeah,
allow that, even though it's worse, probably.
and let's have them act in films where they're playing like soldiers and prostitutes,
Soldiers and prostitutes,
baby burlesque.
or making out with each other on the Blue Lagoon, perhaps. Yeah, it's fucking wild. And I guess this movie can't really be a statement against that since it has a child actor in it, but what are you going to do? The kid's really good in it. He's really good at it.
I really like the kid actor
He
in
could
this.
I will say this every time we do a movie that has a kid in it. It's like the kid could have ruined the whole movie, but this time he didn't.
Well,
He
yeah, 'cause
chose not
there's a
to.
difference
Yeah, he was
between a
really
kid and a
accurate.
kid actor.
Yeah, sure.
Because a kid's
that's
just
true.
gonna read off his lines like you're in 7th grade drama club, versus someone who is trained to be an
Mhm.
actor in a sense because of some other means, like maybe they did. I don't know. Maybe they were doing theater and they were just more enthusiastic about it. I knew kids like that when I was in middle school and high
Drama
school.
nerds. Yeah, I knew drama nerds. They're kind of like there was an alternate timeline where I rolled with the drama nerds, but I opted
What?
away from that path in my current timeline.
You could say that about a lot of things, I feel.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I mean, an adjacent nearby. You wouldn't have to change many things to get to the timeline of where I hung out with the drama nerds.
I see. The atoms would have had to have only vibrated to the left in one particular instant, as
Exactly.
opposed
Yeah, it
to
was
vibrating to the right.
Yeah.
one turn. You only need one more turn
Yep.
to make that happen.
A scene I really like with the child actor in this, I forgot his name,
Shia LaBeouf.
is the scene where he's talking on the phone with his mom.
Oh my god, that scene
Because-
is so fucking brutal.
Because you can like hear how when he's talking to his mom, he sounds like a kid. Cause like for the whole movie, he's talking with his dad, who is like this like biker dude, giving him cigarettes and shit, and he kind of talks like a bit more mature, I guess. Like he's trying to sound a bit more adult, but when he's talking to his mom, he sounds like a kid just talking about like, oh, I'm gonna be in the movie of the week, ma. Look, I gotta go to Vancouver and stuff.
I mean, that's
and
just
then-
because he's genuinely excited about something, whereas when he spends time with
Yeah.
his dad, he's just kind of not.
genuinely
weird, cause like
concerned about the
He
nature.
expresses a similar feeling when he's talking about that Tony guy,
Tom.
Tom guy,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tom.
Tony Tom.
This movie has tons of bad parenting in it. But the fucking thing with
Yeah.
the kid on the phone and he's got to recite the parents' fucking like
He has to be the
caustic
medium.
arguments. But it's not even just that he has to be, it's that he has to like say verbatim these like horrific things back and forth. Like that is some of the worst parenting I've ever seen in my life. Like it's one thing
Oh,
to
yeah.
argue in front of your kid, it's another to have your kid. Can you go tell your mom that I'm never gonna fuck her trash pussy again anyway? It's fucking disgusting.
And then his mom is like, "Hey, can you tell your dad that about that time that he tried to rape me?"
Yeah, can you just casually
phone.
bring that up to him? Like, fucking Christ.
And like the
Man.
way he recites it is like it's cuz he's an actor. He's like trying to like perfectly recite like the anger in his mom's voice like
Well, and
Good.
the fact that he's an actor is like aiding his ability to emotionally distance from everything, and that is probably 75% of the reason why he ends up so fucked up by the end of it, because that's not how you're supposed to deal with things generally.
yeah.
It's
You're trying to
sad
be
that
healthy.
they didn't have like Shia LaBeouf's flag campaign in this movie, though. That would have made it
Yeah.
a lot better.
Yeah.
I guess he's been redeemed because he never got like canceled, right? People just laughed at
No,
him for doing
he-
dumb things.
Yeah, he
yeah,
just
people just
did.
laughed at him.
He just did weird things. I remember when I was in high school, he actually like visited my town.
Yeah,
Because-
that's cool.
Shia LaBeouf's kind of an odd guy, but he's not like bad or like cancelable, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think he's done anything in that sense that would be objectively bad.
I always kind of liked it. Like whenever it would come out, the news would come out, he's like doing some weird performance art thing where he's got like a bag on his head. I'm like, you know what? I respect it. I can get down with that. I like weirdos. I respect weirdos.
Well, it's not
So
like
I-
he's, also shooting someone in the face while doing it.
Yeah, he's just chilling in the bag. I
He's not
guess.
saying. He's not saying just do it. Also kill all black people.
Yeah.
Like,
Although.
Again, I refer to your earlier statement of you not
Yeah.
making racial
What happened
humor.
to? So you.
First it was the gingers, and now the thing that rhymes with that. He's laughing
now
so
he's-
hard he's got a blow dryer.
Now he's dusting with a dirt devil.
You playing Luigi's Mansion over there?
He's cleaning up
my
his
Black
Cheeto.
and Decker Dust Buster.
He's cleaning up his
What was
fucking.
that? What was that? You said what in Decker?
A cordless lithium colored and Decker Dust Buster.
Just
not
don't be
made of
careful with
lithium.
it, because I'm pretty sure your current floor is made of Cheeto dust. So if you vacuum too hard, you might actually unearth the original floor of the shed.
Well, yeah, it's like in
I might open a
it's like in
sinkhole.
Minecraft where your first house is either a cave or just a dirt hut on the grass.
Yeah, it's just dirt blocks and a
You'll
spinny
Yeah.
cube.
blow it away. And
Or like
see
you
the fucking
actually
green
build a house,
pixels.
but you don't bother. You actually build a house, but you don't bother to make the floor, so it's just grass.
Let's play Minecraft
What's
episode 1, Building a House, 9 minutes, 37 seconds long. The thumbnail is a guy, like, holding his face and, like, doing the scream from the old painting The Scream, while there's a picture of someone placing dirt blocks in the background and a giant, colorful number 1 on the front thumbnail
Oh,
of
you
the
were
video.
describing the thumbnail. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
if that was the actual content of the video, like someone's making that face the whole time, I'd be interested.
Oh, yeah, no, that would be good. Like, if it was, like, someone took a clickbait thumbnail and then tried to make it more accurate to the content of the video. That's a good idea for a...
Yeah,
Bit of
farm
performance.
There's
art,
just
yeah,
a
that'd be good.
constant floating number 1 that's taking up most of
Yeah.
the screen.
No, it's actually the middle of the video. I didn't make a custom thumbnail for this. This is just what is in the middle of the... I don't know what you...
Yeah.
What do you mean
The whole
clickbait?
video is a
The
thumbnail.
Game Grump's thumbnails would be something else then. Just be some floating heads. What is that? They're white. I'm allowed to talk about them.
Yeah, they're crackers. The game... Wait, are they...
Yeah.
Isn't Danny, like, part something?
Dan's Jewish.
Oh, that doesn't fucking count.
He's got a
Yeah,
little bit
no.
of sand in him.
I feel like you should be willing to consider Jews separately because anti-Semitism is still a thing. But then, like, they also are going to take advantage of being white. So you got to watch out because they're going to try and they're going to try and double dip on you. They're going to try and use the Jewish race card when it doesn't matter to get some POC spotlight when most people probably treat them as white who aren't anti-Semites. That's today's wokeness advice, cautionary wokeness advice from Dunk.
Yeah.
Ugh.
How to be woke, but not
Broke.
not fully woke, so you can sound kind of unique, like you have an original take, but you don't because you got it from me.
Yep. That's all my takes.
No
Some
one's gonna
weed.
find my giant marijuana crop on
Some
the
lead
freeway.
and some follow.
Sitting on the side of the road.
No one will ever find it. It's so well hidden.
That's such a great treehouse.
I hid it
What'd I
so
tell you?
good. That's a really brilliant. I mean, the whole movie's brilliant, but that sequence in particular is really good because, like,
Yeah.
a shitty movie would be really tempted to end it with the kid and the dad sort of like having a moment of connection, but the entire point is that, like, that's the exception to the rule, even before and after that it happens. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's not the conclusion of anything. There's
Yeah.
even a part where
It's not a real resolution.
there's even a
but
part where
for
the
the sake of the film, it is.
where the probation officer says in a time that's very, like, specifically and intentionally timed, she's like, there's no quick fix for this. Like, it's like as it's segueing from a shot of the kid and the dad, like, seemingly
Yeah.
resolving their problems for, like, one day.
Well, actually,
or
she was
something.
talking about how there's no quick fix for marijuana addiction. That was the greater message of the film.
I guess you can't fix
Yeah.
something that isn't real, so I guess she's right. No, it is
Fuck.
real, but only psychologically, which is different from cocaine addiction. More fun facts.
Or nicotine addiction, yeah.
Well, yeah, because they're all
Yes.
triggering different parts of your brain.
Well, yeah, but there's no physical withdrawal symptoms for marijuana is the main difference.
Yes.
Which is why some people can just do it all day and never have any problems, but, like, me, I'm depressed, and I'll probably lose my goddamn mind.
Yeah.
Ryan already did lose his goddamn mind.
Brain chemicals.
If in the theoretical world that I do that, yeah.
So true, dude. So true, actually.
I thought I really thought
You'd be
like
surprised
even
at
if
how much
Dunk
support a theory can receive. Theory of relativity.
I thought like even if Dunk liked this movie the whole way through, I figured he would fucking hate the ending where Shia LaBeouf says, "I'm gonna make a movie about it."
I thought that was fucking great because the movie's good and you know it's him. It's not like they're pulling the rug out from under you or anything. It's like that's the entire thing that's been building up.
Okay,
to that.
good. Because I like that a lot too, but I was like, that seems so like silly.
Well, I think it's
to end the
especially
movie
great
on.
Master,
because it's
please, like this.
Get his ass, dude. The fucking cat boy
You
is
shouldn't be
bringing
afraid
me
to like the things
a
you
dead
like.
rat.
Please, just a crumb of 3 stars. Just 3 stars on Letterboxd. That's all I ask.
It's not even like I'm giving your movie 3 stars. I'm giving the movie you like 3 stars, and that's what you're crawling on your knees in desperation. You're wearing the fucking tail I got you, like a fucking bitch.
Oh god. Is it one of those butt plug tails or one that just clips to your belt? There is a difference.
I show up to your doorstep and I'm kneeling down.
And you already
$5,000.
and you have the butt plug tail in. You didn't even let me finish answering the question, which kind of tail. You already got the more embarrassing tail and put it in because you're trying to show fucking being proactive to your owner. Welcome back to the Catboy Sex Fetish Podcast.
If I was gonna get one of those, I'd get one that's like of Tails from Sonic, and you have a little button that you could press to have him spin around.
Yeah, that'd be fucking sick. It like doubles as a vibrator. It's getting you off while you're Sonic RP.
It'd be like,
that's a good idea.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I have this secondary feature. What? Oh my god!
Hell yeah, dude. What's up, sharks? My name is Randy Pitchford. I got a product called the Tails Tail Plug.
Is that Randy Pitchford making that?
Yeah, I don't know. I just needed a name. I just reached for a name. My cat doesn't like the movie, by the way.
I'm trying to remember who is like the character creator of Sonic. It's someone. First name starts with an N, last name starts with an O. That's all I remember. It's like...
Oh, I thought it was Yuji Naka.
Was it Yuji Naka? Well, I think Yuji Naka refined the design, but I think someone else created Mr. Needlemouse.
Oh, yeah, kind of like how the other guy made Mega Man and Mighty Number 9 only refined Mega Man's design.
Wait, what was that? What was that? I know Mega Man, but what was that second one you said?
Keiji Inafune.
Mighty Number Inafune, yeah.
What is that?
He was just a character designer. Yeah, I don't know, Ryan. Please expand on it.
Mighty Number 9 is a video game for the Wii U, 3DS. I mean, not the 3DS.
3DO.
For the Panasonic 3DO.
They released one copy of it for the 3DO. It's still yet to be found.
You gotta track it down.
It's somewhere. It's hidden in the Mariana Trench.
Trench? Marianas Trench.
Marijuana Trench.
Marijuana
nice,
trench.
Dude. That was a good bit.
I don't think you'd want to grow marijuana in a trench. You wouldn't get a whole lot.
And why would you want a marijuana?
Yeah, why would you ever want to do that? It's a good point. Anyway, you don't even know if his dad in the last sequence is real or not. That's why he's wearing the fucking clown suit. Like he's probably not even. I think the idea is that when he went to therapy, they were like, "Why don't you just not talk to your shitty dad anymore?" And he was like, "Yeah, okay." And then he like made peace with the part of his dad that's in him.
Naoto Shima, by the way, that's the guy I was thinking of.
Got it.
And then told the part of his dad that's in himself that he's making a movie about it, and that's why he was cool with it. I mean, that's
Which I
like
guess is why
probably
he was in the rodeo clown.
Right. I mean, that's just
what he wanted to remember his dad as.
Well, yeah, or that like he realized that
his dad was a clown all along,
or that it was just like an act mostly. The parts that he felt meaning from, in a sense. Like his dad never really let him in at any point, even though they had moments where they kind of bonded or connected or something. It's not like he really
didn't
got
really
in there and understood him. Or
Yeah,
anything.
he never really let anyone in to that
Right.
extent. I mean, even I think he admits at one point, yeah, like when he'd go up and talk at his AA meetings, it was all made from everyone else's stories. He just cobbled
Yeah.
them together.
God, that's a really crazy detail.
Yeah.
We've been
Dude,
going
how much of
30
a
minutes.
fucking psychopath do you have to be to like go to AA meetings every week or month or whatever and like not even like
At what point do you just
pathologically
quit?
lie at the AA meetings? Like that's wild. I guess he was only going so he could stay employed by his son or something. Was probably the
Oh
reason.
yeah.
I
It might be like
guess.
a required thing.
Because there was the bit where he's like, "That's the end of our agreement," and then he immediately goes to the strip club and does heroin, and it's
Just
like,
crack,
oh,
yeah.
maybe that was.
Well,
part
that
of
was
the
also
agreement.
part of the agreement.
Yeah,
We never saw what the agreement was.
yeah.
Also, I really like the part where they're talking and he's like, "You're right. You should have a good father. It teaches you lessons and stuff." Now, the first lesson is
Stay the
Uh,
fuck away from my kid.
Nice. You
You
mixed
can-
up the scenes. You did Orion.
you can hit your boss once, and then he fucking hits him.
And you
Oh,
thought
that's a
that
good
you
bit.
thought that child abuse was funny, right?
I thought it was really funny. Yeah.
I was trying to save it because I knew he was gonna go to that part.
Oh yeah. I, I'm actually kind of surprised that you would even do that bit now. That scene is like tremendously unfunny to me because it's like you're watching real child abuse happen on camera,
Yeah.
and you thought it was funny. That's cool, I guess. I'm happy for you that you thought it was funny.
The idea of it was funny.
Separated from the real
From the
childhood
real child
trauma
abuse.
bit. Yeah,
Go,
I
going
bet
back to
I bet
just-
it is funny.
Going back to child actors in general, I remembered a while ago reading about the Willy Wonka movie and how that had a very troubled production. But one of the things that I thought was pretty interesting is that this like rant that Gene Wilder goes on near the end of the movie, where he's talking about how they voided the contract. You'll notice he doesn't look at Charlie when he's doing that because the director wanted him to be screaming at Charlie's face for that entire scene, but Gene Wilder was like,
yeah.
"Can I not do that? Because that's kind of fucked up." So he looks at him
Yeah.
for like a second, but that's when he's not screaming. That he had to really fight the director for him to not scream
You get
into that
nothing.
kid's face.
You lose.
What a pussy, man!
Yeah.
Can't
He
even
really
fucking
should
yell
have
at his
scarred that
stupid
child
kid.
for life. That would have been funny.
You really okay? First off, if that's gonna scar the kid for life, the kid should not be in the movie. Which, if you want to say, well, then maybe kids shouldn't be in movies, then I would say, yeah, probably. I mean, like, I would miss some movies would be worse without kids, but like, if you're trying to actually justify that in terms of child labor and like psychological well-being, it's gonna be difficult. You're gonna have a hard time.
Child
pulling
labor
that off.
laws.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because it's
That was a
exactly
nice
the same
addition.
as working in a factory for 18 hours a day, breathing in lethal coal dust.
Yeah.
That
That is
hopefully
exactly the same.
no one's allowed to do that in America. We just outsource
mean,
that to China now, where everyone does it.
The
all
reason
ages.
why I brought it up was that I thought it was an interesting case of an actor like going out of their way, at least in an attempt to, in what they would perceive to be an attempt to protect a child from.
I don't know. That sounds like it was more for him. That sounds like it was more like I just don't want to fucking have the feeling of yelling at the child. So I'm
It
just
could be
gonna
that
not
too.
even-
We can't really ask him now,
It's fucking
or the
dead.
director, or really most of the cast of that film.
We can ask the cast of the remake or the sequel.
Now you can ask
You can
Johnny
ask Johnny
Depp. Hey,
Depp.
Johnny Depp, what do you feel about, like, can you take us into the mind of Gene Wilder real quick?
Did you inherit the codex entries from Gene Wilder's journal when
Did you
you took them
inherit
apart?
the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom?
Yeah.
What's a paladin? Allow me to continue making Ultima references, despite the fact that neither of you have played Ultima.
And definitely nobody who's listening to this podcast has played it, which is just how I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hong Kong 97. Let's
Old
talk about Hong
Maze
Kong
was
97.
searching for you, you know.
Let's just get gradually more and more niche until no one can even begin to grasp what we're talking about.
I agree. See? Exactly.
You start.
Neither of you get it.
Ryan,
Well, mostly because you cut out. My internet's being fucky right now.
he's trying to make excuses. He doesn't want to look like he doesn't know what something is in front of his friends.
You wouldn't appreciate this niche bit from my childhood.
No,
That's how
I
niche
probably
it's
wouldn't.
gotten. Me and 3
Yeah.
other people on the whole planet know what that is. And the other two of them definitely will never see this, and one of them, I think, is in Bolivia.
Well, don't they have the internet in Bolivia? Maybe. Unless
They probably do, but he might be too busy fighting to survive to care about the internet.
or like being a sex slave for some drug kingpin or something. Yeah,
That's
that
possible.
sucks. You want to go rescue him, Punisher style?
Um,
Want to go rescue him like an '80s classified CIA operation where we just drop into a Latin American country and just kill some motherfuckers real fast,
depopulate an area.
and then set up our own drug racket because that's how we bring the shit in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to parachute in '80s CIA style, motherfucker. Get a Kodak from Reagan. I saw some brown over there. Go take care of it.
Remember what Teddy said, big stick policy.
Yeah. Teddy Roosevelt was way cooler than Reagan.
He
And I don't
was.
even necessarily like Roosevelt that much because even though his aesthetic was cool, he was also a complete fucking sociopath. But like, at least that was cooler than Reagan. Reagan, like, he is also a sociopath, but it's like a limp dick to neocon way. He won't fucking look at you when he kills you. He'll just shoot you in the back of the head.
Neocon.
Neoconservative.
Okay.
Where it's like,
I had a
we wanna
feeling that's
save
what you were
money.
saying, but I wasn't sure if neocon was something else
Yeah.
in the
Well,
longer
it's-
list of terms that people have adopted to describe each other these days.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's relevant. It's essentially socially conservative, and they claim to be fiscally conservative, but also like massively aggressive foreign policy, which drains trillions of dollars. So it's like, okay, if you say so, whatever you say, chief. So yeah, like I said, I don't really have a lot to say about this great movie.
I think the guy who plays, I guess 2005 Otis is really really good.
He is
I've
really
seen him
good.
in some other stuff. He was in mid '90s, which I don't think either of you have seen, so it's not
No.
a good example. But he plays a very different character. He in that one he plays the abuser.
He looks like he would play the fresh-faced rookie in the platoon of soldiers in
That too.
Afghanistan.
That would be good too. He probably has been in some military shit. He looks like he's good for it.
It's the naive cracker of the squad.
Yeah. I really like the scene where he's reenacting the conversation he had with his dad.
Oh my god, yeah,
and
that's
he's just
like
fucking breaking down, sobbing.
that's when I teared
that's
up.
probably the most realistic crying I've heard in a movie. That and his dad crying near the end.
Part of the reason this movie
bet.
works so well is that like the people in the rehab center he's in or whatever, like the workers are like really good at their jobs. So like they don't just like use tropes the whole time, which like
Yeah.
has the potential to ruin a movie like this when like the fucking workers at the rehab center are just like throwing cliches at you straight out of the book repeated. Like that's not a good way to do that job.
Well,
at
Yeah.
this point.
adding cliche to what is supposed to be like a pseudo autobiographical film, I think would just kind of. What would be the word?
Well, yeah, but it shows that he understood like the nuance of that profession to some extent. That it wasn't just
Yeah.
like that. What the takeaway wasn't just some really oversimplified keepsake like you'd read in Chicken Soup book or something.
Yeah. It probably takes like a lot to fucking
Oh,
recreate
Chicken Soup for the
your
Teen
like
Soul.
this
that's
hard ass time in your life, like so like realistically
Yeah.
too, and like actually show your like flaws as a person.
Well, and then to play the source of all of them and to humanize
Right.
that source, that has got to be like insane.
Yeah. And the
The
only
only
person I could think of that would do that is Shia LaBeouf.
the only way you're able to pull off a performance that good is if you like truly grow to understand to some degree why your dad was that fucked up, which is like most people don't
Oh yeah.
dream of doing that.
Well, that's probably, you know, probably why he made this film, was because he finally
Yeah.
understood. Because
Yep.
if he didn't, and if his
Well,
dad was just
yeah.
kind of a caricature of what he personally thought he was, then I don't think the film would have been as powerful.
Yeah.
If you didn't have
Totally.
those like moments of levity, I guess.
Yeah,
Quote unquote
just-
levity.
There's just so much fucking clumsy, stupid, like human
Reminds me of The
nuance.
Glass Castle, if you've ever read that.
No, I don't read books. I'm beyond text. I am above text.
Let me just hold on.
I'm the
Let me take a
hypertext deity.
Write that down. Dumbass
Yeah.
idiot. There we go.
You didn't
Because I
already
know you
have
don't
that
read,
down?
you're not going to read that.
You seriously didn't already have that. What kind of fucking notes are you keeping anyway that you just wrote that in for me?
Well, the first thing I had written down was racist,
Okay.
and then racist again. This, all these
It's a little
pages,
I see.
redundant, actually.
all these pages just say racist.
Oh, okay.
But they're
Yeah.
just for
Kill
every.
Whitey.
It's just for different races every time. Like the first one, oddly enough, is the Irish.
Yeah. Fuck the Irish. Except for Colin Farrell, he's cool.
I have to mark it down again.
When did I get Pacific Islander at some point? Can you control F Pacific Islander?
Yeah, I see right here when you were
Peruvian.
hating on the rock.
I've done that a lot. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Yeah, they should all be there. That should be a full
I
bestiary.
have done that a lot. Yes. I filled out the.
Oh, I fucking
man.
hate The Rock. He's so fucking big and stupid.
That's why I didn't,
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't get,
what racism sounds like.
Uh-huh.
It's like a 5-year-old complaining that someone's big and strong.
Stupid.
He's such an alpha. I'm so upset. Where? This is why I didn't get why Ryan said that he knows guys like this character, because it's like, what do you mean? This is a real guy. This is not even this. There's like no. If there are tropes to this character, it's purely by coincidence, because like everything that happens is like fully realized and logically extended from the character. It's just a fucking dude.
Well,
Like
because
there's
tropes,
he doesn't even symbolize anything. He's just a human being. which
tropes
is-
come.
I'm not saying I know him from like a character. Like I know people in real life that are like that person
like that 80-year-old
that
you
talk like
to.
him.
I guess, man.
Well, yeah,
Which-
family, friends, and stuff. Like
Which was
you
the
know,
80-year-old
people
that
like-
you thought was like really weird or something like that? I remember you mentioned something to that effect.
a lot of 80-year-olds are weird. They lived a long time.
80 years is like, that's pretty long, at least for a person.
That's too much. If we kill you at that age, we're doing you a favor. It's my take. If we just sort of take you out back like an old dog.
Another bit of this movie
Am
I
I
really
smelling
like
some
is
faceticism?
Oh, yeah, nice. Good. I'd be down for ageist fascism, probably. I've always been kind of an ageist. I've always been like,
Yeah.
you know how much fucking money we're pumping into your goddamn hip implants? Like, Jesus Christ. You haven't contributed anything to society in like a decade. Why do you think I'm going to care about you at this point?
There's the one bit in the movie where he's like at the pool and he doesn't participate in the hug circle,
That's good.
and then his mentor is like, go out into the woods and scream as loud as you can. And he's like, are you fucking with me? He's like, yeah, tell me how it goes. And then he does it, and then he comes into the office, and I love the way that he fucking talks. 'cause
It's really
like,
good.
It's exactly how Shia LaBeouf talks, but like seriously, like nowadays, like
I mean,
yeah, that was really that was powerful, man. I felt like a demon moved out of me. Like that was spiritual. That was powerful, man.
Well, the
considering
part where
he did write the
I've watched
screenplay,
a
I would
bunch of
expect
videos of
that.
fucking Shia talking like that, and it's so fucking good. It's so real. It's so well directed.
well, the bit where he's like, "Are you being sincere or are you mocking me?" And he's like, "Both." And it's like, "Oh, yeah."
Well, yeah, because you
That's
can be sincerely mocking someone.
Well, no, not even that. It's like fucking that is being in a state of vulnerability and trying to fundamentally change who you are as a person. Like in a nutshell, it's like yes and no. Most of everything I've ever done in my life is saying that I'm making fun of you, but I'm so desperate to not be in the exact same spot that I'm also being like it's like that's the kind of fucking nuance I'm talking about, man. That's the shit that I'm talking about. It's everywhere in this.
Yeah, man.
Overflowing.
All
man.
over the world.
Gushing.
Yeah, man.
This energy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
So he's had enough of this podcast. He's ready to he's ready to do the full transition into the Super Mario 64 podcast. I'm your host.
I'd be down for that. But
Cheese06, and today we're gonna talk about
I was mostly making fun of Ryan for ending most statements with "yeah, man."
yeah, man.
yeah.
It wasn't directed at you and what you were saying.
I like this movie a lot. I think it's
No way.
I think I'll give it a 10.
You like this movie? Holy shit.
And I think I'll give it a 3
fucking
out
love
of
this
10,
movie.
'cause that's as high as I
Okay.
can count.
All right.
Maybe if you show your submission to me as my pet, I will improve the score.
Submission.
Proper obedience.
You do that ideologically. Why not say it verbally?
Let's get the tail and the collar out again.
Yeah. I like this bit, but it's disgusting for me to imagine Ryan in a fucking butt plug tail. So
It's disgusting for me to imagine soy in that.
What? Why would
You
he
don't
be-
even know what I look like. Oh wait, no, yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do. You sent
Yeah,
you
yeah.
sent a picture.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Fuck. Okay,
Don't
that was
do
an
that!
accident.
What
That
the
was an accident.
fuck? Cut that shit out. Like literally, go and cut it out. The episode that does
Fucking
not
foot
need to be
touched
in
it.
there. No, I mean cut out the fucking.
The docs.
Cut out the docs.
The
dude.
documents.
The docs of his
Seriously,
of all of
cut-
our first names.
His because he actually like has a job. So like,
Oh. Okay.
so cut it out.
Yeah.
Like me,
yeah,
I don't
I'll
care.
cut it
You
out,
can
I'll cut
say
it
my
out.
fucking address on the podcast. I don't care. I hope some motherfucker comes and tries to test me, IRL.
Yeah, let's do
Tries
that.
to be like, yo, I heard you talking shit about Into the Wild, motherfucker. You wanna take this outside?
Chris McCandless is my idol. I used his methods to travel to you.
Yeah. And then he dies of mushroom poisoning before he can even knock on my door. Just fucking collapses.
I'd be surprised if that was a long-acting poison. Usually mushroom poisons kill you within a few minutes. Or like an hour. Maybe he ate one right before he went through your door. He was like, I'll eat this for a power-up. Because he's also a Super Mario 64 fan.
He's.
When we translate to the Mario 64 podcast, that's when he'll get really mad. He'll watch a few of the episodes and he'll be like, okay, well, Into the Wild was strike one. Now
this guy's saying Wet Dry World is one of the best courses in the game? What the fuck is this
now
shit?
they're saying that the disclusion of the regular mushroom from Mario 64 is a good design decision. Well, I'm going to prove him wrong by eating this mushroom.
Okay, yeah.
Oh no, it was a poison mushroom. I'm shrinking. No, actually, you're foaming at the mouth. That's actually what's happening. And hallucinating.
I like this.
Don't mix
This is a good idea.
psilocybin with an amanita. I forget how you pronounce it. Mushroom.
Really?
Well, because
There's
an
an
amanita
interaction?
will kill you.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like if you combine them, then
No.
something will happen. I was like, well, that sounds really fucking elaborate.
I know
for
that-
mushrooms.
I
I
know
actually
the-
saw a couple of those.
There's an old adage in medicine: the difference between poison and medicine is the dosage. But that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you should take a fly agaric mushroom and shove it down your gullet.
Well, yeah,
Which,
but
by
I
the
still
way,
think
Fun fact: the fly agaric mushroom is the basis for the super mushroom in Mario.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if in like 30 years' time someone finds some way to apply a very small amount of that as medicine. I mean, like, so much of our medicine is literally just killing you. Like the African sleeping sickness treatment that has to be given to you in a glass syringe because it melts plastic. And it's just fucking acid. Kills African sleeping
Yeah.
sickness, though. So,
Side effects, maybe melting.
Well, yeah, I mean that's just chemicals.
like everything else,
Yeah.
brain chemicals.
Hmm.
Chemicals depicted in the brain map on Wet Dry World. Welcome back to the
Every
Mario
vi-
64 podcast. I'm your host.
Every interaction that happens in this universe is because of valence electrons being exchanged between molecules.
Yeah, I believe this unironically.
That is the basis of chemistry.
And this is the foundation for why there objectively cannot be any meaning, because you can get to meaning, but then you trace it back, and its origins are as arbitrary as what you've declared to not be meaning. So either all is meaning or none is meaning. There's no, it's not possible to.
Well, I think what it is people sometimes when they reach that end point, they take a step back and they kind of form almost like an ASCII picture out of the whole thing. Because when you look at the singular, it's meaningless, but when you combine it with several other things, people like the idea of something having meaning coming from nothing.
Oh yeah, we'll put in tons of effort into like fanficking a meaning out for ourselves. I mean, it's, I guess if that's your bag, then sure, but I'd rather just die in the 1v1 with the Into the Wild guy. That's my goal
Yeah,
right
that'd be
now.
cool.
So how
He's
do
a
you
true
imagine this,
survivalman.
like, let's say this is a, what did Machinima used to do? The death battles, the versus shit?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is one of those, like, what's your
Yeah,
equipment
we
that
have
you're
to
bringing?
examine Dunk's
Um,
stats.
Well, you probably actually might be
His
able to
abilities.
offend kill him, because you could do so much offensive damage that he might just, like, he might he might die of cringe.
Oh, so wait,
Yeah, the guy might cringe too hard at his antinatalist theory.
is it being insulting or being
It's
like
being insulting.
okay? Am I really that good at that? I don't
Well,
actually
here's
know.
the thing. He has a really low defense against those maneuvers.
Because he is willing to go all the way across the country just because our podcast with like 10
Yes.
subscribers didn't, two of us didn't like the movie that he likes. Yeah, okay. He definitely is pretty thin-skinned, so.
He's highly resilient to just eating raw potatoes, but he's very, very weak against someone calling him out on Twitter.
Maybe I can just say your mom gay and I'll just keel over and die.
Well, he probably... I don't know how he'd feel about that. He has mixed...
I mean, it can't be too...
He has mixed feelings about his parents.
Oh, you think he's like a pre-serial killer personality type where like he's always pissed at his mom, so he's like thinking about butchering women and like eating their pancreas or something.
What you should do is be like, actually, you really should be thanking your parents. They gave...
Are you gonna go into hardcore natalism? Is that the direction you're headed?
Well, I was saying that you should
Yeah.
do that to fight him, just say to him on Twitter in some fashion, like, actually, you're the source of all the problems in your life, and your parents had nothing to do with you going out into the woods and wanting to live your life out there. And then he'll be like, it's not true.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, that was my Ryan impression. It'd be more like,
Ow!
that's not true.
We need a soundboard so that whenever we shit on Ryan, I can play like
Yeah, come town sound.
I can play, like,
the fucking guitar riff.
Metallica or not Metallica, the fucking Megadeth Hangar 18 riff or something, like a small clip of that in like 8 kbps. Just
Like that.
yeah, that's Megadeth for sure, 100%. So
they,
he's like the
also
kind of guy
did
who-
the Ace of Spades. The Ace
That's
of
a good
Spades.
song. I like that song. I like Tony Hawk 3. So he's not the kind of guy who like your dad is really into AC/DC. Is that accurate?
My dad? No.
Okay, it was just a wild
My dad's a
guess.
country guy.
My mom is into country. That's mostly because she actually did grow up on a farm and she's weird like that. Um,
Oh, well, as long as she's not stealing valor from farmers, that's okay. That's my biggest concern with country music
stealing valor from
is that these fucking suburban crackers keep listening to it like they know what it's like to be out
Well,
on the
yeah, it was
tractor.
technically it was more of a ranch because they primarily like raised cattle, but they did have a small farm at the side, which was mostly for like it was mostly subsistence farming, not like commercial farming. Like they just grew
Yeah.
their own vegetables and corn and shit. My mom has a lot of stories of her and her brothers just like fucking around in the fields, and it's like, oh, there's a snake, and then my uncle pulls out a gun and just blasts its head off, and then he cooks it over a fire.
Yeah.
It's just like, damn. Chris McCandless would never do that.
Chris McCandless is a good boy. He would never do
No,
such
instead
heinous
he would
crimes.
kill a moose and just fucking
And
waste
then
all the
just
meat.
waste it. Because he had to go out into the fucking thing for his own, like, masturbatory ego trip.
Because rather than
About
doing
Well,
a
being-
he had to.
bird,
He
rather than shooting a
tried.
bird or catching a fish,
He tried to have a fucking masturbatory ego trip. It's not like that's a fucking virtuous goal to have. It'd be one thing if him trying to, like, get in touch with nature or something is like joining the Peace Corps or, like, building some houses for some homeless people. It's,
Or, like,
it's another if
Johnny
you're just going to
Apple.
go...
like
I
Johnny
love this. I
Appleseeding
love-
it.
Or it's not...
I love that we're the Into the Wild episode is just extended into like
Well,
almost every episode now.
It's
Because
just,
that was the
he's-
first film you picked.
He's symptomatic of like everything that's wrong with like fucking normie liberals, where it's just like I'm gonna make things nice in a way that I can believe that I'm making things nice, and then I'll feel good about myself, and I won't have to worry about the fact that I've done literally nothing for anyone that matters. I've just fucking jerked myself off.
It almost reminds me of this one Louis C.K. bit where he was like, sometimes when I have the opportunity to do a good deed, it makes me feel good just to think about having done it
That's
without
like
actually doing it.
I'm pretty sure that's like proven psychology that like fantasizing hard enough about doing something like gives you a chunk of the satisfaction of doing the thing and actually like demotivates you from actually doing the thing, which is incredible. And I love it because I'm never going to do anything. So I can just sort of steal little chunks
That's
of
stolen
things
valor.
that I could do. 100% it is. I don't give a fuck.
That's stolen valor from my mind.
I'm a gangster, dude. I steal all kinds of valor from my imaginary alternate timeline versions of myself.
Oh no, Sora, we're in Roland Heights, Bala country.
I can totally have that too.
You get the Buster Keyblade.
It's just what would it be? It'd be like a street lamp, with like a with a basketball on the end of the chain.
I was thinking it would just straight up be like a steel pipe or something.
How creative! Just a pipe.
Yeah, just like a regular ass blunt force.
It's not even a weapon in the game.
It's supposed to look like a key.
I guess it's because Ryan, when he played GTA, just acted like a 10-year-old and went around shooting people and failing missions and didn't make any progress.
Yeah, I don't
I
know
thought it
why
was
you would
funny.
think that. I don't think that's true. You know.
Guess you're right.
Me neither.
Uh,
There. Fucking. I was gonna say something. It's fine.
you were gonna say that San Andreas should definitely cross over with Kingdom Hearts.
Everything should cross
Absolutely,
over with Kingdom
10,000%.
Hearts.
I hope that happens with
With Into the
Disney
Wild.
Plus show.
Sora, we've landed in Salo, or the 120 Days of Sodom. It's just like they give up on trying to actually make it make sense in the plot, so they just name drop whatever the thing is. It's just like, Sora, we're now in
Undertale.
Star Trek Episode 2, The Wrath of Khan. And it's just, then you have the fights, and there's like not even any story. Nomura just gives up on writing the story because he just doesn't even want to try to explain all the bullshit anymore, so it's just a list of movies, and then you go to the movie. True.
Just everything is resolved except the new things that come up like at the end of the game.
Well, see, it's what's going to happen is once you get through FF 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10-2 remakes, then there's going to be Sora's going to be in the post-credit scene of 10-2 remake.
You know what I can't wait for? I can't wait for the second round of remakes to happen, because I have a feeling that's going to happen again. Because there's going to be like
another FF7?
Yeah, like there's going to be a PlayStation 10. It'll be like, hey guys, we're making Final Fantasy 7 again. We've stopped making original IPs.
They're probably the thing is the cultural current is still like, well, remakes might be fun. Let's give it a chance and see what happens. There's going to be a point where the mainstream audience is as tired of it as we are, but for different reasons. But still, they'll be tired of it, and then they'll have to come up with something else to mass produce. It still won't be creative or good, but it'll be something else. And eventually it will work its way back around to just remaking the games that people remember. Because like FF7 Remake will be like, there'll be a generation that's like, wow, that's when video games were good and not lame. And we'll just be extra
the battle
fucked.
Mechanics from Kingdom Hearts. Oops, did I say that out loud?
Is that even... Everyone knows that. Even people who like the game know that, right? They must know that. It's fucking transparent as all hell.
But I have a feeling that some people are in denial about that.
I know.
And I want to meet those people.
It's fucking Cage 2 is the blueprint of like all of it. That's the last thing they ever came up with. They don't that's it.
What about Chain of Memories did come out before, because that was the Kingdom Hearts 2 before we got Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
It was so good, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was even better when they remade it in 3D. What was that? What'd you say, Ryan?
What's your next movie?
What's my next movie? I need to actually give this a bit of thought because I totally forgot it was my turn. I have a few choices, but because I could pick another animated one. I could also not. I could also pick a terrible film. So, you want to put it to a vote, or do you want me to roll a die? Because that's what I'm going to do.
Please roll a die.
Roll a die? I'll just roll a d4 minus 1.
Welcome back to the Masochism Podcast. I'm your host.
Since we're tying it in with the math, it's Mathicism.
Welcome back to the Mathicism Podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Dahmer with a lisp.
It landed on the bad film.
Oh, baby.
So, how familiar are y'all with Robin Williams' filmography?
Oh, fucking Christ. Alright. So,
Okay, what do you think
I bet I can guess what it is, actually, and get like 5 tries.
Doubtfire, I'm guessing.
It's gotta be worse than that. Okay, so there's Toys, there's Patch Adams, Bicentennial Man.
There's Jack.
Jack.
Genesis Evangelion.
Shut the fuck up, Ryan! I'm trying to do my Robin Williams bad movie list. There's RV from 2006, which we have talked about on this podcast. And Hook. I hope it's not Hook.
I will neither confirm nor deny that you have said the name yet.
Fuck! I mean, Dead Poets Society is a bad movie, but not for the same reasons as this other one. Mrs. Doubtfire is in the same boat, I think.
Yeah.
There's, I know there's some that I'm not thinking of.
You want me to tell you?
Fuck, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be good.
What do you get when you have flying rubber?
Oh.
It's Flubber!
Flubber!
Most of the movies I listed are a lot worse than that, actually, so I'll take it.
Fucking love Flubber, dude. Yeah.
I don't.
I feel like I tolerate it. I feel like I don't violently hate it as much as I would.
I remember
Hedgehog.
watching it as a kid, and I really liked it. So I'm excited to see it again, see what I think of it.
What if the flying rubber is like,
It's not a condom.
yeah, I was about to say automatic condom. So it's like you don't even have to put it on, it like flies to your dick. But I guess it would have to be reusable.
I would call that more homing rubber, not flying.
Yeah. I mean, well, I guess it depends on the
Hover.
range. Because if it can go like across the continental U.S.
But I think
to
it's
where
more
you're getting
appropriate to
pussy.
call it a homing rubber because it's not like you can just throw it and it'll fly anywhere. It'll always come back to a point that you specify.
Well, yeah, but if you wanted it to go in the air, you could just stand on a really high ledge and pull your dick out, and then get it to. This is just semantics.
I think it's more appropriate to say it is homing rather than just flying.
Well, let's go test it out.
Okay.
On our dicks.
Welcome back to the Mario. What is this podcast again?
Mario
Galaxy?
Mario Mathicus, Goblin.
Mario Mathicism
And
64 featuring
and-
Shia LaBeouf.
And I'm Jeffrey Dahmer, right?
And
No.
I'm Jeffrey.
You're Jeffrey Bowser.
Okay. Yeah.
Bowser?
Okay. Yeah. Don't choke the throws.
Just follow your nose for the fruity taste that shows.
So I got bought out by Fruit Loops.
Every time I say that, they give me just a nickel. They slide it through my
It-
door.
It couldn't have just.
I'm amazed that he sold out to Fruit Loops before he sold out to us. That's
Well,
it's a good sign of
I
friendship.
you
can't
really-
sell out to you if you don't have any money.
yeah.
You can't
fucking
buy me
idiot.
out with like week-old weed that's been festering, and like your manual of like what was it, Sly Cooper that you took notes in that one time?
Yeah.
No, it was I took
and then you
notes
have
in
the
Guitar Hero
mask.
3 and Naughty Bear.
You
But
have a
you
Switch-
did-
I
you
do
have
have
a
the mask
Switch-
on VHS.
You have a Switch Pro controller.
But you
I'm not giving
do.
that to you.
You
You
have
did
a
waste
cube
money
of
on a
congealed cum
SoundCloud-
that you've convinced us is your bed.
Nice. Good.
Um,
I think he's also convinced himself, though. I don't think that was deliberate deception. I think he like meant to get another mattress, and then it just sort of piled
Have to
up, and he's like, "I
peel
guess I
the
already did
sheets
that.
off.
I guess I did that part already." Where with the getting of the mattress.
It's like the whole thing is made of like jet marshmallow fucking spread.
marshmallow fluff. Yeah. You've put in the freezer.
Well, that's why they banned you from the factory.
Anyway,
You used to be really skinny until you got that.
I can't believe you would pick Fruit Loops of all the cereals. Just
Fruit
like
Loops is okay, but like it's not the best.
it's no Honey Smacks, man.
It's funny, I haven't had
Honey
Fruit
Smacks.
Loops in like 10 plus years. The last time I had Fruit Loops, I think it was over at a friend's house, and he was having a bowl. I think I had some too.
Ryan, choose your words carefully if you're about to talk about Honey Smacks. Be careful. The ground you walk on may be uneven.
Well, I was thinking about Honey Smacks, and I was like, no, that's not the cereal I was thinking of. It was the one with the bear that also had honey in it.
You
I
thinking
remember
of
having that
Sugar
like
Crisps?
once. Yeah, I remember having that once, and I thought it was the best cereal ever because it just tasted like pure sugar.
It's not
Like out of
O's,
all
so it's not
sugary
good.
cereals, that one tasted the most like.
yeah,
actual
but it's not.
sugar.
It's no Honey Smacks though.
It's not
It
O's.
probably isn't.
Honey Smacks are the easily the best cereal that exists.
Now,
think I like
I'm in
O's
the camp
more.
of I'm in the camp of Captain Crunch.
You fucking know
berries.
Well, which one? The
Crunch
regular?
berries is actually more
Crunch
normal.
berries,
Crunch
just basic
berries.
ass crunch berries.
If you just picked regular, that would actually be a little bit contrarian and interesting. But to be just like, yeah, Crunch berries,
I
haha.
remember when I was younger, because when the
I
FDA
could
just
do
didn't give a
regular
shit
Crunch,
about
too.
like sugary cereals. Captain Crunch had like this little, it was like a little chocolate donut cereal, and every single one had like shitty frosting and sprinkles on it. It's
Holy
just
Christ!
yeah, it was just here's a cereal that's literally chocolate donuts. Hold on, I need to find it again.
It sounds fucking great.
It does.
It was really good, but then they took it off the market for obvious reasons.
Childhood
Yeah.
obesity is bad, bitch. What are you talking about? I'm an adult and I want the fucking donut cereal. Just put it in the alcohol aisle, man.
And it's funny because I think they brought a similar version back. Hang on. Yeah, here we go. The sprinkled donut crunch, which was almost the same except it
Whoa.
didn't have the frosting. Oh, hang on.
But that's not real, then.
No.
That's just a shitty flavor of cereal, probably.
I mean, it had it had a twang of vanilla flavoring. But that was about it. This is the remake,
Yeah.
the
I
comeback.
think my dad actually tried those and he was like, eh.
Yeah, it's
'Cause-
not good.
My dad's a big Oops All Berries stan.
Like I remember the Choco Donuts were like halfway decent, and I think there is a cereal out there that basically is that.
In the alcohol aisle. Behind the counter where the cigarette cartons are, they have
Yeah.
hyper sugar cereals that will just kill kids.
What do y'all feel about
Impact.
Fruity Pebbles? Because I've never actually had those.
I think they're good, but the biggest problem is that if you put them in milk, they go soggy within nanoseconds.
Yeah, the
So it's
like,
like-
the second half of a session of eating Fruity Pebbles gets kind of soggy and gross.
You basically have to speed run eating the bowl of cereal if you want it to not
Yeah.
be soggy.
Well,
but like
you
the
don't have a
cereal
milk?
itself.
You don't have a milk aerolyzer? You can't just spray it on? That's what I have.
No, I don't actually. But
don't have
I don't eat much cereal, so
I mean, I don't
that's
understand
probably why I
people
don't
put,
have one of those.
people put milk in bags, and that seems sacrilege, but I put it in my spray bottle, and it works out really good.
Pressurized milk can.
Yeah.
First off, you should always be using almond milk for everything because it's 100% better than dairy milk.
Okay, we're gonna get into a milk discussion now.
Yes,
We're talking about fucking Captain Crunch, okay? Shut the fuck up.
What,
All right,
are
all
you
right,
trying to say
all
there's
right, all right.
standards for this podcast? You fucking bitch! Come on.
I am firmly on the side of 2% milk.
Ugh.
Because
Against
it's
almond?
not too much. It's just enough.
You've never even had almond milk. I'm willing to wager.
I have had almond milk. It was vanilla flavored, but yes, I have had almond and soy milk. Yeah,
Almond milk
I like it.
is
It's
Fucking
not bad,
soy bitch.
but I prefer 2% milk.
the texture
works
of
with
dairy
everything.
milk is whack as fuck. I'm gonna be real with you. It's like not appetizing. Almond milk is like silky smooth, fucking delicious. It's intrinsically got more flavor than dairy milk, but the flavor is still flexible and versatile and goes with whatever cereal you want to throw in that shit. Almond milk, it's just better, man. 100%.
I'm not a big milk person, so I have no stake in this argument.
Well, if you eat dry cereal, then you probably will like Fruity Pebbles. Those are probably one of the better, like,
I mean,
dry.
I mean, when I was younger, I ate cereal a lot,
don't know
and I
about
had it with
that.
milk, and I just didn't really. I was kind of ambivalent about cereal milk or dry cereal. Either or worked.
Well, really, probably the best way to eat Fruity Pebbles would be like throw a handful in your mouth and then drink some milk, and then sort of like chew it
Probably.
with the milk in your mouth.
I personally was never a huge fan of the colored wood shavings that were Fruity Pebbles.
Damn, get his ass, dude. Yeah, you're not wrong though. They're not great. They're not Honey Smacks.
Yeah, because I have had them once, I will admit. I know I said I didn't before, but I remembered having them. It just sort of popped in my mind. And it wasn't the most flavorful thing I've ever had. And now
No,
I see
they're not.
in the related, there's apparently Urkelos. Didn't know that was a cereal.
I prefer
My favorite member of Family Matters now has a cereal of his very own.
What it was supposed to taste like his flesh or what?
Yeah, his strawberry flesh.
It's a
Urkel
common-
is a strange creature.
Jesus Christ! He's a creature now. I thought you were
Wow.
gonna not be racist for the fucking.
He's otherworldly. He's
Jesus
Alien.
Christ, man!
It's got strawberry flesh.
Yeah, well, I don't
Okay.
think that's accurate.
Well,
I don't think he
well,
really
hang on,
actually
you know what
does.
else is the color red of watermelons? Are you making an association here? Are you saying
Christ.
he's made of watermelons?
Watermelon's more pink.
Ryan, are you just
Not
secretly the
always.
biggest Sambo
Watermelon
fan?
can be pretty deeply red.
Especially when contrasted with a darker color in its immediate vicinity.
Like green.
Yeah. Like the rind of the watermelon.
Well,
the
okay,
seeds
what's
in the
everyone's
Oh my God.
favorite melon?
Whoa.
Honeydew is the only correct answer.
Honeydew is very good, although I do also like the juiciness of a watermelon as well.
Yeah. But cantaloupe
We
is
might
that
have
fucking
to-
weak bullshit, and I can
Yeah,
get,
I don't-
get that shit away from me.
And my parents fucking bought only cantaloupe, and it was the worst.
It's pretty blasphemous that Pac-Man World 2 is like, yup, that's a melon.
Well, it's
And it's
a
like-
it's a
We-
rock
we
melon.
might-
It's not a cantaloupe.
Oh, fuck.
It's there's
might
more,
have to-
there's more than 3 types. Well, because
Fuck.
We
those
may have to wrap this up soon.
Shut the fuck up, Ryan!
it's
Adults
only,
are speaking!
It's only 1:15. We've gone. For
Adults are
longer.
speaking about
No,
snack
like
food!
I need to go soon.
Alright, fine.
Well, the rock melon is a melon that's from Japan. Hold on, I'm trying to remember. It's like a offshoot of cantaloupe, I think. It's not quite the same. Trying to remember.
I don't know much about melons. I had watermelon once, and I was like, this is alright, but I don't know why everyone's like, watermelons are the best thing ever.
Alright, Gonzalo, it's time for you to leave.
You know what, Bob? You need to leave right now. Don't even call me.
Watching...
You should just go.
Go! Apparently, like, a beta version of Facade was considered for VR, like, really early.
Yeah!
That
VR,
could
the
work.
fucking dildo on the shelf, and the fucking JPEGs. That'll be fun.
What the fuck? Who
Yeah,
grilled?
look it
no,
up.
no. I'm
Hold
looking at someone. Apparently, people just grill watermelon. Look at this.
Oh yeah,
Used as
no,
a vegan
a lot of
substitute.
people grill like fruits and veggies.
That's
what-
retarded.
I thought. Wait, so. I thought vegans liked fruit. Why would they fucking ruin fruit? What's the point of that?
It's a meat substitute. You know.
The
Maybe
entire
it's like
point
the
of the
grill-
fruit is that
the
it's supposed to
flavor
be
of the
fucking
grill.
wet. That's why it's called watermelon. The fuck is wrong with you?
So good. Well, let me just burn the cellulose of a watermelon real quick.
Well, let's
Because
just
you know what
burn
I
the
hate? I really
celluloid.
hate potassium, and what else is in a watermelon? I think it's like a few different types of vitamins. I just want to boil them out. You know, I don't want them. I don't like my watermelon red. Okay, I want
mean-
it medium well.
If you really feel that not eating meat and cheese is going to somehow improve the treatment of animals in slaughterhouses and factory farms, that's fine. You can believe that all you want. But don't fucking blasphemize the only food you're allowed to eat, and you're going to ruin it. You're going to fundamentally undermine the point. Like, at least if I did something stupid like this, I could go get a fucking burger afterwards. You're stuck with it. That's...
Well, because
you've got to fucking eat that.
The thing is, like, people have made vegan burgers before out of like black bean
Yeah.
paste and stuff. And,
You can do that, and they can be good.
well, because
I am not
you're grilling something that's not primarily made of water and cellulose.
Jesus Christ.
That's like grilling lettuce. You don't do that. And that's the moral of today's podcast.
You fucking grill a watermelon, I'm coming for your family. First. You're gonna die too, but your family will die first. That's the order of operations. Next time on the Super Mario 64 podcast, why TikTok clock sucks.
And how Flubber is secretly a Mario power-up that was never fully realized.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the anomalous.
And how this Facade AR shit is like the creepiest shit ever. They
VR.
made the entire like apartment that's in Facade in real life.
I've completed
like
over
AR.
300
Oh, it is
missions
AR,
in
okay.
VR.
It's like VR AR. It was 2007.
Well,
so...
they just probably made a set.
Well, yeah, I know, but
It's so weird
That's what
they
I
made
mean.
it. Did you guys know they made D Dust?
Okay, like the reason I'm saying we
Placing
need
the
to wrap this
bomb.
up is because my stomach has been like fucking making noises for like 2 minutes straight.
Go eat. We'll
Like,
riff
I need
about
to
Counter
fucking
Strike
eat.
for 5 minutes and then we'll end it. Just go.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. Good podcast. Good.
Good podcast.
Bye.
Bye.
Dirt T-Spawn.
Oh, I think he finally ate his microphone.
That's good. Counter Strike sucks. Welcome back to the I Hate Counter Strike podcast. I'm your host.
Counter Strike hater.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
That's right.
Live on the show. Wow, I'm really impressed.
Yeah.
How'd you get out of prison?
Isn't he dead? I guess maybe
I don't think he's dead.
Because I saw an interview with him.
Well, yeah,
It was a pretty fascinating interview.
They pull him out for interviews every now and then, and they're just like, "Are you not crazy?" And he's like, "No, I'm still crazy." And they're like, "Okay, we'll put you back in."
Yeah, serial killers are fun, man. Because they love talking. They always want to talk your ear off about...
Oh no, Jeffrey
How they-
Dahmer's dead.
Fuck! I wanted to meet him. On my
1994.
Make-A-Wish.
Who was I thinking of then? I was thinking of someone.
I mean, there are a lot of serial killers in the world.
There are a lot of them. I remember
And they're
reading
all
about.
white men.
I remembered reading
Usually
about
straight.
this.
Well, actually, not.
Like one of the earliest documented American serial killers was this guy who was really into like testicular torsion as well, and precedent, he only murdered kids, and he was also into testicular torsion. He was also really into testicularly torting kids' balls while they were dying.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fun. He also liked to eat the bodies of his victims too.
How do you... You know, it's probably not a good sign that I've been wondering how people get like that. But I have been wondering. Do you think it's like...
This was in the 1800s, I should also say.
Yeah, but they must always feel like they're being innovative, right? Like we're
really
crossing the
a new market.
No, but I mean like I'm crossing some like ultimate like complete line beyond everything ever because it's so far beyond what would ever be considered not just socially acceptable but like understandable. So it's like it's not like you would do it and then people would be like, I can't believe you would do that. It's like you do it and they're like, holy shit, it's literally the devil. And then they would burn your entire house and kill your family. So it's like, it's almost like they want to be that far ahead into insanity or something. Like truly be like above and beyond the Call of Duty of insanity. I don't know,
we
man.
go. Albert Fish as the guy.
Yeah, I've heard that guy. I've heard the name before. Yeah.
Also known as the Gray Man, the Werewolf of Wisteria, the Brooklyn Vampire, the Moon Maniac, and the Boogeyman.
Yeah.
Fish once boasted that he had children in every state.
Yeah. It must just be like, because it's always their fucking moms or whatever, or I guess it's a sex thing. So like Dahmer's was his dad, and then like most like straight serial killers, it's always their moms or something, which is fucking weird. I guess it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's like school shooters where if you try to draw too many demographic comparisons, you'll end up generalizing too much. I mean, like there is a profile and there is a need for the profile, but like, I don't know if we can explain this shit yet. Maybe we can. I don't know. Ask the FBI. Maybe they can explain this shit. It's not as unknown as school shooters. School shooters, like fucking, we have no goddamn idea. People try to draw demographic lines, and it's just
No,
like
but it's video games.
No,
It's video games.
that's. I mean, my theory is that the reason that keeps coming back is because people are so fucking clueless that they're just desperate, so they're resorting back to old like really poorly structured answers to the question. Because like no one's doing that for serial killers now because we have enough info on serial killers and like enough of a profile and enough of an idea of how they work that we don't feel desperate enough.
If serial killing was a recent thing in like the latter half of the 20th century, then people would say, "Oh, it's that manhunt game that's turning people into serial killers."
Right. But I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna find one. Is the thing, because it's like people are like, oh, it's lonely, depressed, and it's like, dude, like Klebold, one of the Columbine shooters was like super popular. He was just chilling. He was chilling with the boys. It's like,
Well, maybe we should ask him while he's playing Doom with Satan.
yeah. By the way, this is an official podcast recommendation for Columbine Massacre RPG. Genuinely subversive work of art. Is my
Also, you
honest
should
and
play The
ironic
Desolate
take.
Hope. I will never stop shilling that.
I'll get to it eventually, one of these days. When
It's
I'm done with
also-
all
It's also
the
free,
Mario
so
64 ROM hacks, which are also free. Once I finished every single Mario 64 ROM
once
hack
I've played
with
every other
All-Stars-
video game in existence.
That's not every other video game in existence. Come on.
Well, I was adding it to the list.
I don't want to play all of the Pets Cat series. Maybe just like 3 and 4. You can take the first 2 off.
Well, just play like pets.
It's that-
Don't
those
play
two-
cats.
It's those 2, and I got to get Battle Raper from Abandonia. That's on the list.
I mean, don't-
And
Well, if you're gonna play why only play just cats? Why not play pets so you can have both, cats and dogs?
well, because I'm more of a cat person, and if there's cat-specific mechanics, I'd rather like focus in on those than have a sort of less complete general experience.
Oh, fun fact! It's been a year since I've known you to the day.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
What happened a year ago?
Movie night.
What's the official?
Movie night. We were watching. What was it? No, it was the fucking. Oh, Rockstar made a game about them. Oh, it was on the PSP. Oh,
Warriors.
The Warriors. That's right. It was movie night. It was the
Damn.
Warriors.
Shit was
And
shit
that,
changes.
and then you were like, "Come to JoJo's server. That's where we'll do the podcast."
Oh yeah, I still have a couple of those wave files. I was digging around my computer and I found Mario sucks off toad.wave, and I was like, hey, isn't this that bullshit? That
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Worthless. It is, because I checked.
Oh, nice.
It's that one, and the Chloe Price is Right was the other one. They're both
That's good.
probably terrible. Yeah, that was a good bit. I pride myself on.
Chloe
Having
Price. That
brilliant
name
bits.
does sound familiar. I think of like, sadly enough, like Khloe Kardashian.
I'm just gonna let you look it up and be silent.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I forgot her last name. You were sad that I committed heresy upon Ashley
No,
Birch.
because the character isn't that great. I mean, I kind of like her, but that's because she's like,
Well, it's
she like hits my buttons right.
whenever
is the
I
main thing.
reference her, I always say just Chloe, and I
Yeah.
never think about the full phrase Chloe Price.
hmm
You know?
I have so much affection for the spunky, empty rebellion teenage girl that it trumps all reason. I don't even need it to be a good version of that trope for me to get into it.
You just want to
Especially
fuck
when
Ashley Birch.
Birch. It's true. I really do. But I want to have a nice romantic dinner first. I mean, I don't want it to be just a physical thing. Welcome back to the half simp, half incel podcast. I'm your host,
Simp cell.
J. Jonah Jameson. How long should we cut Ryan?
I mean, we've been going for hour 28. We can go for like a few more minutes, I imagine.
I don't know if there's a level in Mario 64 that's as bad as Click Clock Wood, honestly.
You said click clock wood, not tick-tock clock.
Yeah, I know, that's what I mean. Like, I mean, I don't think there's a level in Mario 64. Like, that's a point for Mario 64
okay.
against Banjo. I still like Banjo better overall, I think. But there's not a level that fills me with that much despair. Because at least Tick-Tock Clock, I only got to do it once. Well, kind of. I have to get all the stars once, but...
Well, every time you die, you get thrown right back. But, Yeah, I don't know. I'm partial to Click Clock Wood. I remember liking it as a kid. I didn't think it was that intolerable, and I sort of carried that with me through the rest of my life, even though I know it's a bad design decision to make you play the same level 4 times.
I mean, it's probably partially my fault because I played the game like twice and a half or something, like in a very short time frame. But that's because like the rest of it you could just play on loop forever, theoretically, and maybe not
Yeah,
even get tired of it. And that's the one that like you want to space it out because you get really fatigued of it really quickly.
and
So in a way that might be my bad, but
it's also a case of like in my opinion, a remake that is like nowhere near as cynical as something like the Final Fantasy VII remake.
you mean like the XBLA version?
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
because it's like
Final Fantasy VII remake is
we're gonna keep the charm of the original. We're gonna make it widescreen. We'll touch up some of the textures. Um, we'll redo the portraits. We'll make the font work in widescreen, and then we'll fix the notes mechanic, and that's it.
and we'll make Stop and Swap do something,
Yes,
even though
because
it's
we
not
actually have the
great, but
capability. It won't be something good, but it'll be something.
yeah.
Well, some of it's good, but even then.
Um, yeah, the FF7 remake is pretty cynical, isn't it? Because it's like it's not something that I would usually refer to as cynical as much as just like pointless and depressingly so. But it is cynical because the entire like all it is like people liked this game. We can
We can do it again.
appeal to that nostalgia for this game. We can do that. We can I mean the entire thing's just fan service. The fact that the characters are hot is just fan service. I mean I like it, but that's about all I'm going to get out of it if I played it, I think.
Yeah, I mean
Is the
that's.
characters being hot.
I think that's all they really expect people to get out of it, and any additional meaning is attributed to the individual. And
Yeah, or Nomura's fucking Kingdom Hearts cringe posting with the ending. But no, you can't. You've created a time paradox.
Sora,
It-
you can't do that. You'll create a time paradox.
The time paradox thing would have been a lot less cool if it wasn't in Snake Eater, but it was in Twin Snakes, which is essentially what we have here. Except the cutscenes are better, I guess. Not that that's
Suppose.
saying much. Although, what even is a cutscene anymore in video games? There's no longer a clear line between cutscenes and gameplay. It's not even close to clear.
Well, in my
Actually.
mind, the mantra that I followed was that if the gameplay cut to a scene,
Yeah.
if there was a shift from gameplay to game watch, but
Mhm.
with stuff like, you probably hate me saying this, but with like Half-Life 2 and even Half-Life 1, that line was very much blurred because there wasn't any point where the game would yank control from you except in a very few select moments, like when
Yeah.
you're during the resonance cascade in 1 or during the
Yeah.
teleport sequences in 2.
I don't even know if I would call that cutscene. I think what I would be referring to is like in modern games where
Well, that's what I mean. It's not a cutscene,
right,
It's blurring the line between gameplay and cutscene.
but it's more blurred because now you have it where you walk into a trigger and people are talking at you and your character is like looking at them and talking automatically, but like you can still move the camera and you can still like try and move in some directions and maybe you'll kind of be able to. God, I really hate that. I really hate it when it's like we'll give you like a fucking crippled move set where you can like kind of dick around and shimmy on the sides, but it's mostly you're stuck here watching, and it's just like just let me fucking eat a sandwich. Why do I have to be controlling this? It's not like I'm immersed in controlling fucking like the main
Rockstar.
character of Shadow of Mordor, where to do literally every action, all I do is hold the goddamn spacebar. It's not like I'm immersed in that. Yeah, Rockstar as well. At least Rockstar, it's like hold the button to have your horse stay right next to the other horse. Well, only in Red Dead, but
Hold the
You don't
button
have
to
to
maintain
actually.
the illusion.
I mean, I guess I'd rather have that than have them make me ride next to someone and listen to 5 minutes of dialogue and have to actually manually maintain my own speed. But ideally, you wouldn't need to have fucking 5 minutes of dialogue every mission. Ideally.
Ideally. Irene. Oh, I should have picked that. Now I'll pick it next time.
I like the part in Red Dead where you just get in the fire truck and then you start putting out fires for money.
Nice. I guess we should stop now.
Next time, there won't be a next time. This is the end, folks. Thank you. Thanks for
We're biting the proverbial bullet.
the bullet bill.
The bullet bill. All right, now I'm stopping.